9 times out of 10, I want to add user-facing filters on my collection views to help my teammates to easily find particular records. To do this, I'm going to toggle on edit mode using my keyboard shortcut Command E, click to surface the builder sidebar, and click on filter fields in the sidebar here. I'm going to choose to add certain filters here, such as the order number, the name, the status, the customer, and the fulfill by date. So now my teammates can come along and type in values to find particular records, such as a specific order number, an order name, filtered by a particular status, choose a particular customer, or filtered by a certain date range. And I can clear this by clicking the X there. Already, these filter fields are going to provide a lot of value to my team, but I can further customize these filters via the app sidebar. So I'm going to toggle on edit mode again. And let's start by customizing the status single option filter here. So if I go to the filter fields again, and I hover over the status field here, I can click to surface more options. The first thing I might want to do is choose a default value so that when users come to this page, a default option is already selected. I can also enable my app users to choose multiple values, so they can come here and choose additional states as well as just the initial status. I can also choose for only certain options to be shown. So currently there are 4 options, but I could toggle off the preparing status here so that when my team come and click on the dropdown, they only see the options for invoiced, received, and shipped. I can also use conditional logic to determine when this particular filter field should be shown. So if I toggle on the only showing conditions are met, I can choose to add particular conditions here. For example, I might want to only show this filter field to particular users. So I could say that I only want to show to logged in users whose user role is equal to team admin. And as I am currently logged in as a team admin, I can now see this status field. So that's how we can further configure a single option filter field, but I can similarly customize other fields as well. For example, the order number field here, which is of course an integer field. So I can click on the edit icon here. And one of the options I see is the filter operator. By default, this is set to the equals operation. So if I type in a particular order number, only records that match exactly the order number I've entered will be shown. However, what I can do is instead choose the between operation. So here, I'm able to type in a range of orders. So let's say I only want to show orders that are above 416 and less than 419. Now I've enabled my app users to type in a range of orders instead. The final field that I'm going to dive into here is the customer field. So this is a relationship field between orders and the customers table that we have in our database. So if I click on the edit option here, I see that I've got a few more options to configure here. Again, I can choose to allow my users to select multiple values from the dropdown here. And I can also choose to add a filter to determine which records get shown in my dropdown. For example, I could add a filter here to say that I only want to show customers in this dropdown where the customer subscription start date is before the start of this month. So go into the dates options here, this month, and start of month. So now if I X out of a few options that have been chosen already, and I click on the option to filter customers, as opposed to seeing 3 customers here, now I only see 2 customers that meet the criteria of the additional filter I added here. So the final thing I want to call out is this search box option at the top of the page here. What this reads is that this search box will filter your view based on all of your visible text or number fields. So if I toggle on this option here, I see by default the label says to search any field. What this means is that I could type in a particular order number or customer name, for example. So this search box will conveniently search all the available fields in the collection for the relevant values entered. So that's how you can use and configure filter fields in your app to help your users find particular records in collection views.